got this chemistry, I can't ignore it. So won't you be a secret I can keep? No, we can't fall into all these feelings, girls. You know I lose my...
All right, everybody. Hello. Hello, Big Data London. Big Data London, here we are. Data is the new bullshit. Somebody has to say it, so I'm saying I'm sorry to shock you. The way we talk about data is holding our own industry back. And to help prove it to you, I'm going to show you here first a little documentary footage from an existing enterprise and see if this doesn't sound like your organization.
Hello, I'm the CDO. I must create a data-driven utopia of interoperability where insights flow freely from workflow to edge across integrated ecosystems. And I have to fix the quarterly reports. Let's give a call to IT and see how they're doing. We'll patch them in.
It's the ITB here.
Hello, IT. What do we need to create my data-driven utopia of interoperability and fix the quarterly reports?
Our resources are devoted to the metadata content and analytics graph hub fabric mesh to enable the operational infrastructure scaling of the digital transformation.
I thought I was good at buzzwords.
Buzz. And we have to fix the quarterly reports.
You should be a ghillie.
A ghillie?
Yes, a ghillie. A-G-I-L. Look in Wikipedia. Look under Agile.
Let me check with the head of the tiger team. I'm sure we could scrum something up. Here's what they've got. Soap. Yawn. Rest.
I'm ready for a bath, a sweater, and a nap.
Python. Panda. Spark. Whoa, dangerous. Hadoop.
That was a cluster.
What else you got down there? Kafka. JSON. A lot of JSON. Squirrel. SQL. NoSQL. And what's a pirate's favorite programming language? R. And the latest, greatest, and buzziest.
Oh, does that go with the pirate?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the pirate.
But it's a ship.
Try this then. See if you can sound it out.
Kubernetes.
Kubernetes! One more thing.
Toilet paper?
After all that integration, we're gonna have to clean up our back end.
Now, what about the data?
The data?
I don't have the data.
Yeah, what about the data?
The data?
Why would I have anything to do with data?
Your IT!
It's information technology. You're the CDO.
CDO is Chief Dog Officer. The business has the data.
The business has it.
Sorry I'm late for the call. I'm a little dizzy from our customer 360. What about the data? It's the new oil.
I thought you had the data.
I don't have the data. I'm the business. Let's go fix the quarterly reports. After you fix the quarterly reports, can we start monetizing our big data? Wow. If it's so big, how come I can't see it?
What about my analytics graph hub fabric mesh?
Stop with the buzzwords.
That stings.
I don't have any data.
Kubernetes!
Oh, what do we do?
I don't have everybody always coming
Why
to
would
me
I have
with
my
the
data?
data?
The D stands for dog. I didn't know that.
There for the data puppets here. Does that sound like your organization? Well, you can tell the truth here. Are you trying to enable an analytics graph hub fabric mesh? Do you want to create this data-driven utopia? Are you debating about all the nuances between a data product, data as a product, and data productization? Then I'm here to help. Don't worry, I'm here to help. Scott Taylor, the Data Whisperer. My goal today, my mission, is to help give you new ways to talk about what you already know. I've been in this space for a while here. Spoiler alert, in case you haven't noticed yet, I don't do a whole lot of whispering. You're all data whisperers there. We saved that for the data. I am here to yell, tell, and sell about the power and value of data management in your organization to help you get the value you need from all the data work you do. My company, Meta Consulting, we're about what it's about. Meta, no, we're not changing our name to Facebook. People ask me that all the time. I'm here, we talk about how people talk about data, and I provide Data evangelism as a service, a way to get people fired up about the work that we do. And I'm focused on the why, not the how. Now, many of you practitioners out there, how is important. How is how you get it done. But if you're looking for executive sponsorship, if you're looking for stakeholder engagement, if you're looking for funding, you're not going to get it if you explain how you're going to do it. Your CEO is going to go, why you want to spend that money, not how are you going to spend it. So you've got to focus as well on why it's important for your organization. I wrote a book, Telling Your Data Story. It's available in the book stand over there. Data storytelling for data management, 99% buzzword free. I didn't want to overpromise. Recently translated into French, where it's 99% sans mot à la mode, which of course means no words with ice cream. That's what that means. Thank you, Chris. And I'm here with the Data Avengers up in the front row here. We got to check them out here. We're partnering with OnToText. We're thrilled that they brought us here, but we are also here. You should see all our stuff. Follow the sign, so I want to give them a shout out. And I've been disruptive. We all try and be disruptive in the space, don't we? It's important to be disruptive. I come by that honestly. I've been disruptive since the 4th grade. That's my 4th grade picture. See if you can pick me out. That's me. I haven't changed much. I still love the polka dots. But my teacher put in my report card, Scott is disruptive and distracting to others. And I took that as a compliment, kind of inspirational. So when you talk to your business partners, when you talk to them about data, do they ask, in the words of the great Canadian philosopher, I know some of you in the Commonwealth are like, Canadian philosopher? Yes, Avril Lavigne. Why we got to go and make things so complicated? Why we got to do that? That's from her hit, Dater Boy. Remember that one? But data is confusing. It's very confusing. If you don't work in the space, your CEO thinks the lake house is where his data goes on vacation. We heard all about the data fabric, the data mesh. What about the data spanks? Tight net integration. And reverse ETL, I look at that and go, why isn't that LTE? Why don't we just make it simple? We heard SQL in the puppets. No SQL. Let me go a little deeper here. Anybody know what the NO in NoSQL stands for? Anyone? Not only. It's the world's shortest acronym. NO, not only. Only in the data space does no equal yes. That is our problem. Can you imagine a data scientist walks into Starbucks and says, I'll have a no whip, no foam, no chai latte. And the barista goes, oh, you just want a latte? No, not only whip, not only foam, not only chai. It's very confusing. Internet of Things, important technological advancement we're all working on here. You can't do it without identification, but identification in the Internet of Things, the standard is called idiot. I don't know if you saw this outside here, a lot of people presenting this. Integrated platform as a service with governance as a service, it's called iPassGas. That is an elevator pitch you do not want to endure, believe me. Yes, my eyes are burning from that demo. Please, just stop. Or it's an IT problem. People think it's an IT problem, but I got a warning for you. IT can be scary. Do not leave your data alone with IT. Don't do it. But the truth about data management is the success of every digitally transformative customer initiative, every as-a-service offering, every foray into e-commerce, every enterprise software implementation is inextricably linked to the successful output of your data management efforts. There's no two ways about it. Now, that is the longest, most complicated way I could say GIGO. Everybody knows. That's the way it goes. If you want to make your data work, you've got to remember garbage in, garbage out. We learned that on the first day of data, don't we? It's as sure as gravity. What goes up must come down. What goes in must come out. I try to elevate this to the golden rule of data. Do unto your data as you would have it do unto you. What you put into data management is what you get out of business intelligence. And so if you put garbage into ERP, you get a lousy ERP. You put garbage into CRM, you miss customer opportunities. You put garbage into fintech, you're going to get a visit from the regulators. Garbage into LLMs, hallucinations. Garbage into BI, BS. Garbage into AI, AS, artificial stupidity. Because no matter how you slice it or how you dice it, the golden rule of data prevails. Do unto your data as you would have your data do unto you. Can I get an amen from anybody there? A little bit of... There's the evangelism I'm talking about. Now, in storytelling, you want to be succinct, you want to be crisp, you want to be defined. And so I boiled my entire data philosophy down to 3 words. Truth before meaning. You must determine the truth in your data through data management before you derive meaning out of it through all the other analytic stuff. And it's not chicken or egg here, it is egg and omelet. If you do not have the truth, you will not get the meaning. Goes in that order. There it is. There's my French dad joke. People look at that and say, can you make an omelet with that? I go, sure, 1 egg is enough. Here's a custom slide just for this territory. If your data management is make, do, and mend, then your analytics is going to be computer says now. Want it? That's a special slide for you folks. Really, I don't carry that everywhere. But good decisions, as I'm fond of saying, good decisions on bad data are just bad decisions you don't know about yet. So this data journey, truth before meaning, determining the truth, data management, data governance, data quality, data stewardship, master data, reference data, metadata, MDM, RDM, PIMRIM, damn all those foundational activities that you know and I know we need to curate and steward and deliver that content across our organization. And doing that first before you derive meaning out of business intelligence, analytics, data literacy, all the wonderful, cool, hot, sexy stuff that gets a disproportionate amount of the attention and a disproportionate, I will say, amount of the funding, given its absolute dependence on the boring stuff in the back, that clerical world called data management. And so think about it as where data starts versus where data ends up. And I suggest to you there's 2 types of storytelling out there. There's the classic data storytelling. I would rather call it analytic storytelling, but that horse has left the barn. A lot of books out there, some written by some great friends of mine, stories with data. How to take data or insight, put it in a business context to drive some form of action. Super important. But there's another part of data storytelling that you need to learn, which is stories about your data, about why managing your data is so important. And that's my little niche. So one's with data, one's about data. You need both. This is not Sophie's choice here. You got to have both. So why do you need to tell a story? You want to build relationships. You want to grow relationships. You want to protect relationships. You want to mitigate the risk of some types of relationships. You all want to build relationships in your business. And if you want to relate, you got to communicate. Just ask anybody you love. Isn't that right, sweetheart? There we go. All right. The data whisperer, everyone. She calms me down. So let me take you through some data story false starts. How am I doing? Am I off? Am I good? Okay. All right. Is that better? Do you want me to start over from the back? Now the puppets. Okay. Data story false starts. Every company is a data company. Every company is a software company. As of last November, every company is an AI company. Really, if that logic worked, if the tools we used were the kind of company we are, then frankly, every company is a paperclip company. Or data's the new oil. Let me take down the titular reference. I hate this graphic. Anybody still using this graphic? You can admit it. This is a safe place. Anyway? Stop, please, no more. Cut it out. It's terrible. Look at this. It's supposed to be a positive thing about data. If you read this, the world's most valuable resource is no longer data, oil, but data. The data economy demands a new approach to antitrust rules, regulating the internet giants. This is not a positive story about data. And data's the oil. There's all kinds of debate going on. Well, it's like oil because you need to refine it to get value. Or it's not like oil because it's not sustainable. So the fact that we can't agree says it's bad imagery, it's bad poetry. The purpose of analogies, the purpose of these kind of figures of speech is to shorten the distance to understanding. And if your audience doesn't understand your opening metaphor, you are sunk. So don't use this anymore. And data's not old either, okay? Let me show you some really old data. Cave person data. That's pretty much data. So if data's older than computers, data's older than electricity, And according to my own Flintstone logic, data is older than oil. So enough of that. Or do you start with, let's quote some of the esteemed analysts out there. Is my sound okay? I'm just asking. Hate to do it. Okay, all right, fine, sorry. Let's quote some of the esteemed analysts. Gartner, I love this. The organizations that measure the value of master data, 90% said no, we don't measure it. 10% said other. I hope yes is in other somewhere. But I love MDM wherever I can find it. I had to pull off the road and take a picture in front of Michelson Door Manufacturing. So that was. But describing things like master data, it's a common language across your organization. It helps you establish a standard that's important. And it's essentially about rows and columns. I know we got a lot of fancy visualization stuff, but business people use stuff like a table. And if you think about it, analytics are the columns, data management are the rows. Really easy to add columns on a spreadsheet, really tough to align those rows, isn't it? You've all been through that. And on a recent trip to the Acropolis, I was reminded it was all about rows and columns. I'll let that sink in for the people outside. But data management can be a pain. It can be a pain. I know it can. And I'm going to get graphic here. I'm going to show you what pain looks like. There's no kids in the room, but this might be disturbing to any data stewards who are in the audience. I call it naked data because you can't hide from it. You ready? Are we ready? There you go. There it is. Susan can't look at it there anymore. These are from embarrassingly large global enterprises who don't know what they're doing with Coca-Cola, can't spell Nestle the same way twice. Look at 7-Eleven. I mean, really look at 7-Eleven. Do you see it? 7 equals 11. Not in base 10. I think it's hexamal. Is that right? Is it hexamal? I don't know. So that last slide there, that last column was taken from a retail sales force that took people out into the field, and all their local folks keyed in the 7-Eleven banner name into their sales system, and we took a look at that data, and they had over 275 different configurations of the 7-Eleven banner name. There you go. Tremendous creativity in the field. None of it selling product. And if you think the software is going to fix it on its own, you put this in Excel and you get November 7th. Unless I'm back at home and you get July 11th, so it doesn't work either way. But every company has a data story to tell. You all have a data story to tell, and it is about why managing data is so strategic to your organization. And it starts with the essence of it. If you're in digital transformation, if you're technology-driven in any possible way, the essence of it is provide value to your relationships through your brands at scale. That's what you want to do. Provide value to relationships through your brands at scale. Value, I mean grow the business, improve the business, protect the business, sustain the business. Scale is technology, hardware, software, data. If you have data, you need data management. Relationships. You might call it something different, but you all have relationships. No relationships, you don't have a business. Customer, vendor, partner, prospect, citizen, patient, client, whatever you call those relationships, you've got to protect the data about those relationships. And then brands. You all have brands as well. Product, service, offering, location, banner. So when you look behind that, how's the data about that stuff? Your leaders aren't talking about structural entity data behind the scenes, but they are talking about relationships and they are talking about brands. So I'm going to keep plugging away here. So now I promised, what can you do about this? You can tell a better story. And very quickly, I'm going to go through what I call the 3 V's of data storytelling. Obviously, a little knowing wink to the 3 V's of big data, but they are vocabulary, voice, and vision, the words you use, the way you talk, and why it's important. So you want to establish an accessible vocabulary. Use the language of your business. Skip all this legacy lexicon. Skip all the technical terms. Use that to talk to other practitioners, but like a doctor who's talking to another doctor, you don't want to use that language when you talk to the patient, and the patient is certainly your business. The voice, the way you talk. You want to harmonize to a common voice. Now, harmony doesn't mean everybody sings the same thing, but it does mean they sound great together. So what kind of elevator pitch do you have? if you bumped into your CEO or your CFO and they said, what are we spending all this money on data for? Can you articulate it back again? Are you getting nervous just thinking about it? I hope you are. I'd rather be nervous in here than nervous in front of them. So practice that, get that going. You want to create some sort of internal marketing program. You got to pitch this stuff. That's the kind of story it is. You got to pitch it. And then finally, vision, why it's important. You want to illuminate the business vision. Everything you do with data needs to enable the strategic intentions of your enterprise. Where is your company trying to go, and why does data help get you there? And think about those initiatives. Think about hearing your CEO and your leadership. They will talk about relationships. They will talk about brands. You've got the data behind the scenes that make that stuff happen. All right, I'm going along good here. I want to give you one last story. And then after that, if you stay till the end, I've got an actual world premiere video I'm excited to show everybody. This isn't it, yeah, so we're going to. But one last story, let me share with you a cautionary tale, the little red data hen. And this is what happens when you don't have stakeholder engagement with data governance.
How are we doing today?
Yeah.
Should we read some books?
Yes. Could you read me a book about data governance, Pop?
Of course I can. How about The Little Red Data Hen?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, in a legacy barnyard, there was a little red data hen. She knew all her data could help all the other animals do their job better, but they never paid enough attention. One day, the little red data hen called all the animals into the barnyard. Who wants to create a data-driven utopia of interoperability where our insights flow freely from workflow to edge across integrated ecosystems? Asked the little red data hen.
That's a lot of buzzwords.
I know. Who wants great data? Asked the little red data hen. I do. Mood, the sales cow. I need to cross-sell and upsell. I do. Bark, bark the finance puppy. I need to maintain regulatory compliance. I do. Oint the marketing pig. I need better targeting for our customer journey. But the little red data hen had a big problem. All our data is a mess, she said, and it's stuck in silos. And because she lived on a farm, those were real silos.
What are silos?
That's a place where people keep data separate from other data.
Why?
It's a problem everywhere.
So they don't get mixed up?
Yeah, so they don't get mixed up. I'm seeking stakeholder engagement, said the little red hen. Who will help me collect and catalog the data, she asked. Not I, mooed the sales cow. I need to focus on revenue. Not I, barked the finance puppy. I don't see the immediate ROI. Not I, oinked the marketing pig. My priority is brand equity. Oh, very well. I'll do it myself, said the little red data hen. And she collected and cataloged all the data she could from all the silos and migrated it.
Did you do ETL?
No, she did ELT. Now, the little red data hen needed more help. Who will help me govern, structure, and steward the data? Not I. You're in charge of data, not me. Not I. That sounds like an IT job. Not I. Just upgrade your software stack and that will take care of it. Oh, very well. I'll do it myself, said the little red data hen. And she went off and established a data governance skunk works. And because she lived on a farm, she used a real skunk.
Yeah.
Finally, the little red data hen thought she had everything ready to go. She had taken the data from the silos, she cataloged, governed, structured, and stewarded the data in a hybrid cloud data lake behind the barn.
She could use a data mesh.
You're right. Who will help me leverage all our trusted data? Asked the little red hen. I will. Now I have customer 360. I will. Now all our numbers tie out. I will. Now we can reduce customer churn. Finally, the whole barnyard can have consistent KPIs. They all mooed and barked and oinked. The little red hen was so happy and excited. Unfortunately, it was too late. By that point, the legacy barnyard was disrupted by a data science-based farming startup that used predictive analytics to provide an innovative crop-as-a-service offering.
What's that?
They had to close down because they waited too long to fix their data.
Why?
They just couldn't get the stakeholder engagement. The finance puppy was given away. The sales cow, the marketing pig, and the little red data hen were all sold to a food service operation. Don't be like a bunch of silly barnyard animals. Managing data is the job of the whole farm. The end.
something funny, but Papa, is data the new oil?
That is a different story.
All right, very proud. Very proud of my grandson there. Very proud of him. He just got named in the Data 10 under 10. So you'll see that coming out. I'm going to skip through my summary here because this is everything I said. But the point to remember, the one thing to remember no matter what, is truth before meaning. Without data management, you can't handle the truth. But all respect to Jack, with data management, you can handle the truth in your organization. I'm Scott Taylor, Data Whisperer. Data's the new bullshit. Happy to have you.